I'll never forget the sound of the babies crying. It was a scream that felt like it would never end. But what was worse was what happened after. I was just a boy at the time, living in a small village in the heart of Africa. We had heard the stories, of course, the ones about the king who hated twins, the one who believed twins were cursed, that they brought bad luck to the kingdom. But we never thought it was real. We thought it was just something old people talked about when they wanted to scare us. Then it happened. One night, the king's men came to our village. They were led by a tall, cold-faced man who carried a sword that gleamed under the moonlight. They didn't even say why they were there at first. They just marched straight into our home searching. It was quiet, like something was wrong, but no one dared speak. I remember hearing my mother whispering to my father, but the words were too soft for me to catch. My father just nodded. I could see his face, though, pale, like he knew something terrible was coming. Then it happened. They found the twins. Two tiny babies born just the day before, both crying in their mother's arms. The king's men didn't waste any time. The cold-faced man stepped forward, his face emotionless. He grabbed the babies from their mother and held them up to the moon. I could hear her pleading, begging him to spare them. But he didn't listen. "We do not keep cursed children," he said, his voice like stone. I'll never forget the way those babies screamed as they were carried away. It was the last time we heard their cries. The next morning, we found the bodies. They were left by the river, their tiny bodies wrapped in cloth. The king's men had taken their lives, just as they had done to others before. This wasn't the first village to lose its children to the king's madness. It wasn't the last either. I'll never forget the look in the mother's eyes. She didn't cry, not at first. She just stood there staring at the river. She didn't even speak. But when she finally did, it was like the earth itself trembled. "May the king burn in hell," she whispered. Some say the king still rules with that same hatred, still searching for twins to kill. But I know better. When you live in the shadow of such evil, it never really ends. It stays with you. And the babies? They are still crying in my dreams, their voices reaching me from beyond the river, from a place where no one can escape. I will never forget.